Have you ever stopped to think about this? If you were dropped into a completely unfamiliar place right now, no phone, no navigation, no road signs, could you actually find your way back? Don't be so quick to say yes. You might not even make it past the first day. Because for us, the act of remembering the way has long since been outsourced to our smartphones. But for ancient humans, remembering the way wasn't just a skill. It was life or death. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, there were no maps, no GPS. But they had to do one thing every single day: leave the camp and then come back alive. Your destination might have been a water source kilometers away, a seasonal fruit grove, or a path where migrating animals passed. The problem was, these places didn't have any signs. No turn left here, no 500 meters ahead. Making one wrong turn could mean finding no water, no food, or failing to return to the tribe entirely. And in that era, being alone meant certain death. Our modern understanding of remembering the way is simply memorizing a route. But ancient humans didn't do that. What they remembered was the entire environment. They would remember which tree grew crooked, which rock was white, which patch of ground was damp, and which side the wind blew stronger on. Even the angle of the rising sun and the direction the shadows fell. They weren't just drawing a line in their heads. They were constructing a three-dimensional model of the world. In other words, you remember how to go. They remembered where you are. Modern humans have a major problem. Without navigation, our sense of direction is basically zero. But ancient humans were different. They were trained from childhood in one specific thing: positioning themselves. They knew at all times which way they were facing, how far they had just walked, and how much they had deviated from the path. This ability has a technical term: path integration. Simply put, with every step you take, your brain automatically calculates your position. You turn, you detour, you even get chased. Yet your brain keeps updating. Where am I now? And us? Our brains stopped doing that work a long time ago. Ancient people didn't have tools, but they had something far more powerful: the entire natural world. During the day, they used the sun. They watched it rise in the east and set in the west, tracking its changing position throughout the hours. At night, they read the stars. They knew the constellations were fixed anchors in the sky, reliable enough to steer a life by. They read the wind. They felt the current of the water. They mapped the distribution of vegetation and the subtle tracks of migrating animals. To us, these things are just background noise, but to them, they were information. There's a harsh reality you might not want to accept. Ancient people were likely much, much better at navigating than you are. It's not because they were smarter. It's because they had to be to survive. In brains that rely constantly on the environment, the region responsible for spatial memory, the hippocampus, becomes more developed. And us? We open our phones, tap navigate, and just start walking. You won't even remember the road you just traveled, because your brain has already defaulted to a single thought: this isn't important. In the ancient world, what happened to those who couldn't remember the way? The answer is simple: they didn't leave any descendants. The reason you are sitting here today is because your ancestors, without a single tool, could find water, find food, walk out into the wild, and find their way home. Generation after generation, nature filtered us out. The survivors were those who were hypersensitive to their surroundings. So, the real question isn't how ancient people remembered the way. It's, why can't we do it anymore? We live in a world where it's impossible to get lost, but the price we paid was losing our perception of space, our understanding of the environment, and our internal ability to locate ourselves in the world. You might think you've become more advanced, but in a way, you've simply taken a skill that was once a matter of life and death and outsourced it to an app. If one day all the navigation disappeared, you would realize something terrifying. It's not just that you can't find the path. It's that you have no idea where you are.